guess what I'm gonna be talking about today? Yes, I am filming another Semester C Q&A video. That's all that people care about, and I'm okay with that. Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Nina. Last week I was sick for like 10 days, so I couldn't film any videos, but today I am filming a Semester C Q&A video because that's what the people want, and I've just decided to give up and just kind of give everybody what they want to see. So got my Semester C sweatshirt on and we are ready to go. I'm just gonna keep making videos as long as people want to watch them. So I went into my Instagram DMs, which I've been getting DMs for like a year since I went on SAS from people who were thinking about it and just wanted to ask more specific questions. So I'm gonna go into more detail about that. Let's get on to the video. Okay, so to get in the spirit, I have my Semester C sweatshirt on, and I got this in the gift shop when I think it was like the first week on the ship, and it's my favorite thing ever. I think I wore it almost every single day I was on the ship. First kind of like tip was that you can buy all of this stuff in the gift store, and usually people buy everything on the first couple of weeks because they tend to sell out, and once they sell out of their Semester C merchandise, they don't restock it till the next voyage. And some of the stuff you can't get on the online store, so I highly recommend getting your Semester C merchandise early on in the voyage. I also got this like giant blanket. It's actually right here, and it's like jersey fabric, kind of like this kind of fabric. It just has like the Semester C logo on it, and it's like my favorite thing in the world. I put it on my bed in my cabin. I'm using my old cracked phone because I'm filming with my phone because I don't want to buy a camera because I am too cheap for that. I'm just gonna scroll through. Okay, I get a ton of questions about age and like what age you should be, what's the average age, like am I too old, am I too young to go on Semester C? And honestly, the main answer I would say is that age really doesn't matter. If you're a college student, obviously it's centered on college-aged kids from 18 to 22. I would say the average age on the ship is 20 to 21, just because most people that go on the ship are either like second semester sophomores or first semester juniors, but also people tend to do it earlier or later in their college career. It just depends on your school, how the credits are going to transfer. There's also a number of gap year students who, after they graduate high school, they do a semester abroad or a year abroad. There's a range of 100 level classes so that they can get like intro courses before they transfer to a four-year college or wherever they want to do after they are finished with Semester at Sea. So there are options. And then if you are on the older end, we definitely had a few people who were like 23, 24, 25 who were finishing up college, or they wanted to take some time off of their college at home to go abroad, and they're just like finishing up their degree. Or if you're like getting into like middle-aged or like older, they have lifelong learners who are people who just come on the ship to learn. They take classes, but they don't have to take them for credit. They can, but basically I had a couple lifelong learners in each of my classes, and they just kind of sit in and they can do the homework or not do the homework, but they just like learn, and they also do all the traveling and everything. So that's an option if you wanted to do this later on in your life. There's all ages on the ship. There's ship kids, who are the kids of faculty, staff, and lifelong learners. And so we had about 25 ship kids. They have their own program. Also, if you're a student on Semester at Sea, you can sign up to tutor the kids in different subjects, or like teach them how to dance or swim or whatever. There's a wide range of ages on the ship. Obviously, the majority will be college students, so I wouldn't worry if you think you're too old or too young. I don't think that should be a huge deterrent for you if you want to go on Semester at Sea. I also get a lot of questions about funding your voyage. How did you pay for this? How much money did you save? All that kind of stuff. And it is a stereotype that Semester C is very expensive, and I've heard from many people in my comment section that it's just for rich kids, it's just for spoiled people, like, but I have to say it is entirely possible if you are not like wealthy. For me, my school, my tuition is already very expensive, and so going on Semester at Sea for me was only about $5,000 extra for the whole semester, and that's including travel and all of that stuff. Also, I have a scholarship for USD, so that covers a lot of the like tuition stuff. So essentially I took this as this is a lifetime opportunity to visit however many countries around the world, and countries that you don't normally plan trips to or are very difficult to plan trips to. And so for me, I figured I'm not going to be able to do this at an affordable price really ever again in my life. So for me, it was entirely possible for me to do this voyage because of scholarships, student loans, and saving my money all summer. And a ton of people like prepare for this years in advance. They save up their money for travel expenses. I know my roommate on SAS took out a loan to pay for some of the things she wanted to do. And so it's entirely possible for you to do it if you are worried about finances. There's also scholarships available through Semester at Sea. Again, my roommate got a huge scholarship from her school to go on Semester at Sea, so it's possible. You don't have to do the Semester at Sea field programs because those are a lot of money out of pocket to pay for. You can always just spend a little bit more time and extra work planning your independent travel by yourself, and you can do that at a more affordable price. Also, like, you don't have to feel like you have to keep up with the people on your voyage, because I know that there was a significant amount of people that were spending a lot of money, that they had a lot of money, whether it's theirs or from their parents, to spend on traveling, but I didn't. So I budgeted accordingly, and I promise you, if you're smart and you work hard, you can totally make this happen. Yeah. Don't give up. I got sick on the ship once, and I was worried about getting sick on the ship, so I brought a ton of medication, like from my doctor, just in case I got sick, because when I get sick, I'm like down for the count. It's like so hard for me to get better because I can't take like any medications. I'm allergic to everything. I got bronchitis halfway through the voyage, and I was just like, oh. But I went down to the health center. It's on the 3rd deck. It was really fast. They got me in quickly. They knew my like allergies, and so I got steroids, I believe, and that worked fine, and I was better within like a week. So the ship has a ton of resources for when you get sick. They do have like a limited amount, but yeah. I get some questions about how difficult it is to get into the program of Semester at Sea, and for my school, Semester at Sea is a huge like study abroad option, and it's very popular. And so for USD, they limit the amount of USD kids that can apply. I would say like 40 to 50-ish kids from my school go on mostly the fall voyage, I would say, but there's always a significant number of USD kids just because our tuition makes it so easy that we just pay our normal tuition and we get to go on Semester at Sea, which is cool. For our school, we had to have at least a 2.75 to apply for study abroad in general. I'm not sure what it is for other schools, and I also am not entirely sure how Semester at Sea accepts people, but I don't think it's too difficult. You just have to try on the essay, like make sure that your grade point average is decent, like probably above a 2.75, and just be really like honest in your answering. And yeah, they're always looking to reach new corners of the world to go on Semester at Sea. So if you have questions about that, just reach out to somebody and they will let you know and help you through the application process. Also, if you guys have questions I'm not going to answer in this video, DM me. I usually answer everything within like a week. Sometimes they pile up and I just forget, but if you have a specific question, I'm always available to answer any of them. Also, I've made a number of Semester at Sea videos, so if you haven't seen those yet, they might answer some of the other questions I'm not answering because I've already answered them in a different video. I've almost covered all the bases. Okay, so I get this question too, which is, do you have to have a certain kind of major to be able to go on Semester at Sea? And I would say to an extent. They have a pretty good variety of classes available for you to take. I would say a lot of humanities and a lot of business courses are available. I'm an English major, so it was like pretty easy for me on the ship because I took a literature class. I took some core classes for my school, so I took a world drama. I took an upper division theology philosophy class. You have to take global studies, so that is already one of your classes, and that counted for me as like a diversity credit, I think, at my school. And I also took a geology class for my like science lecture credit, but they do have a lot of business classes. They have psychology, English, they have a few science lecture classes, philosophy, religion. I will say though, they don't have a lot of like science labs are not a thing, or like engineering, math, those ones are not classes SAS usually has, but it changes from semester to semester. So if you are one of those majors, you could potentially just save up all your core credits and try to take all of your general education credits on the ship. I know a lot of people who did that just because they really wanted to go on semester at sea. So it is possible if you have a little bit of a more rigid, difficult major to even go abroad, but you don't have to be specifically any major at all. You just have to take at least 4 classes. So again, with the saving your money thing, people ask me how much money should you save for like travel expenses outside of the tuition and stuff, and I would say anywhere from like $3,000 to $5,000. I was on the way lower end of that, and I don't even know if I spent $3,000 like while I was in the countries, just because I had a strict budget for myself. But there's definitely people that wanted to experience more and buy more things, so if you're one of those people that love souvenirs, then I would say more money. Yeah. Okay, so this is a question that I had before I was gonna go on the ship, but people ask me like, how do you make friends? Like, how do you travel with people you meet? Do you have to know people before you go on? Do you have to plan trips with people before you go on, even if you don't know anybody? And the answer is no. You don't need to know anybody before you get on the ship, and you don't really need to plan a ton of things before you get on the ship. For me, I only had like a couple countries totally figured out. Also, plans change during the voyage, things happen, but I went on the ship only knowing one person, even though like 60 people from my school go on semester at sea, and there's a ton of people who are maybe the only person from their university coming. So you are not going to be alone if you don't know anybody who's doing it, and sometimes that's like the best thing. But I didn't know my roommate before I met her on semester at sea, but sometimes on the Facebook page people will post profiles and be like, oh, who wants to be my roommate or whatever, because you can suggest to have a roommate, and you can also do random, and if you do random, you won't find out until you literally get to your room who your roommate is. But I saw this girl's profile on Facebook and I was like, she looks cool. I'm just gonna message her and see if she wants to be my roommate. And mostly it was because she was from Canada and I thought that was really cool. So I messaged her and she was like, yeah, sure. So we became roommates, and like, it was probably the best thing ever because I literally just saw her 2 days ago because she was visiting San Diego, but I had not seen her since I got off the ship. But we ended up becoming really, really good friends, and even though I like didn't really travel with her at all, we were still like really great friends and really great roommates. And so you don't need to know anyone before you get on the ship. I remember me and Amanda, my roommate, were standing in line, and these 2 girls behind us knew each other, and we're like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, oh, we're from Kansas, you know. And then we ended up eating dinner with them, and then like more people came, and then we just ate dinner, and then we went to yoga, and then just like it just happens. Like, you play games with people late at night and you become their friends, and then everybody is just so eager to meet everybody and make new friends that I don't think it's like too difficult to. And I'm an introvert, like I was terrified. For me, it was like starting college all over again, trying to make friends. And so the first couple days I ate alone at the dining hall. I did my homework in the corner of the Lido Terrace, but eventually it will happen. I am not worried for any of you introverts out there, because for me, that was like my biggest fear going on the voyage, that I wouldn't find anybody, wouldn't find anyone to travel with. But you just need to take a chance, put yourself out there. I started the music club, which is super not something I would do. I was walking with my guitar and one guy was like, hey, like, are you gonna go play guitar? And I was like, yeah. He's like, where? And I'm like, oh, like deck 9. He was like, okay, like I'll come find you. So then he came up and found me and we played guitar. Like, you just gotta take a chance and be nice to people. And yeah, I get a lot of questions about like, how did you convince your parents to let you do this? Is it safe? I had planted the seed in my parents' head like 6 months before I applied, because I knew like my dad would be like, no, you're not going, like that's, too dangerous, like we don't know where you're gonna be, like any of that stuff. But semester at sea, like, although there have been instances where voyagers get into some trouble or they like get hurt or something like that, but their goal is safety, and they always give you all the information you need to be as safe as you can when you're in the countries. Every single time before you leave the ship, the night before you leave, they have what's called pre-port, and it's when they tell you everything you really need to know about traveling in that particular country, their currency rate, what ATMs are safe for you to get money out of that are not going to steal your credit card, what areas to avoid, times of day you shouldn't go to certain places. They're very strict about where you travel. You're not allowed to leave the country that you're in. You're also not allowed to go to like outside islands. And like in Spain, for example, we couldn't go to Ibiza. If we were in like Vietnam, you can't go to like Thailand or Cambodia or anything like that. Just be smart. Just follow the rules. Like, don't get on a bike in Vietnam. Some person on our voyage got extremely hurt in a motorcycle accident. Like, stuff like that happens. Just don't put yourself in the situation and you will be fine. That is all I'm gonna say. Don't be stupid. Just be smart, make good decisions, follow your tuition, and you will have a safe time. Sometimes I felt safer like in other countries than I felt in the United States. As far as convincing your parents, just let them know all of this about semester at sea, how they have rules, how they stress safety, how they give you all the information you need, and hope that they trust you. Also, a lot of questions are about packing. I'm working on putting a packing list on my blog, my packing list, as well as things I wish I would have brought and other little things like that. I might even upload tips and tricks and all of that stuff. I have it all written down. I just have to post it, and when I do post it, I will put the link in the description box for you to go to my blog, or you can just visit my blog. I'll put it at the end of the video or whatever. As far as packing, you can check out my video and also the list. I would just say bring less than you think you need, because by the end of the voyage, you're gonna throw away a lot of things that get destroyed or whatever. And now I'm gonna go to some of my YouTube comments. I've answered some of them on there, but people keep asking the same questions, so maybe I'll hit a few of those too. Someone asked, what did I use to film or vlog my voyage? I used this iPhone 7 and a GoPro. Mostly this though. This was like basically it. So if you're like, oh, I don't have the right camera, don't worry about it. Use what you have. That's all of my advice to you. If you want to film videos, if you want to make vlogs, use your resources. Use iMovie, learn the ins and outs of that. That's what I do. Someone asked, when do you sign up for a semester at sea? I would say the earlier the better, but for example, I went on the fall voyage. I started applying mid-January and I was all signed up by March, I think. And then I had the whole summer to like prepare, pack, figure out my life. So the earlier you start, the better. It's just my answer for that one. What college do I go to? I go to the University of San Diego. Yeah. It's pretty nice. If you guys want me to do a campus tour, I was gonna do that last week, but I got sick. So if you wanted me to do a campus tour, I will do that. I am a senior this year, so this is my last semester, so I'm real sad about it, but I will be graduating and out into the world. Also, this is the comment that made me do this video. It says you should do a Q&A about SAS, and 5 people liked it, and I decided that was enough people to make this video. Someone asked me if I'm going to Taylor Swift's Loverfest this summer, and yes, I am. So if you're going to Taylor Swift Loverfest this summer, leave a comment down below and maybe we can hang out. If you haven't noticed, I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. I've got all of these lyric pages that I've written during class when I'm not paying attention. So if you're a Taylor Swift fan, let's hang out. Also on my wall, I have my map from the voyage. I can like do a little picture of that. At the end of the voyage, everybody signs maps, basically. They sell them in the store, and it's kind of like a yearbook, and it's like my favorite thing in the world to just like read them now and then. I got a question about, you make so many friends on the ship. Do you see them after? Do you have reunions? Do you plan to meet up with them again? And the answer is yes. We still have a Snapchat group. We still have a group message. We see each other more often than you would think. I think exactly a year ago, which was like a month and a half after we got off the ship, we had a huge reunion in San Diego, and a ton of people flew in, and maybe I'll put some clips of our reunion there because I kind of vlogged it, but then I kind of didn't. So we had that one when a ton of people were here. I think we had like 10 people staying in one house. And then in March, we had a few people come, Abby and Sam. And then in April for Easter break, since we have Easter break, we're a Catholic school, we flew to Colorado to see all of the kids from Boulder and CSU. And so that was really fun, and I'll put some clips of that there. So I saw them like quite a few times this last year. Last semester, my friend Kelsey came and hung out with us for a weekend. That was really fun, and it's just getting really hard to like make reunions happen because we're all so busy and on opposite sides of the country, and like we're all graduating soon, and like we're all gonna be everywhere. But it's definitely a priority that we have to see each other when we can. Like for example, when Amanda came into town 2 days ago, I was like, yes, I'll drive an hour north on a school day to see you. Like, of course I would. She's all the way from Canada, and I don't know when I'm ever gonna see her. I saw her and it was so wonderful. I'll put a picture. But yeah, and we're just already thinking about like today, someone's like, what? So whose busy this semester, who's gonna be around this day, whatever. Reunions are definitely had, but you do have to put a lot of effort into it just because everybody's comes from everywhere and that's the price you pay for making friends in other states and countries for that matter. Our friend Will flew from Hong Kong last semester to see us for a weekend, which was insane. Someone says, do you plan your flights and stuff when you're in country during the voyage? I feel like it'd be scary to go by yourself. Did you go in port with friends? Yes. I did travel with a group every single time, which I recommend. Some people travel by themselves, but for me, I thought it would be safer to be in a group, especially because I'm not good at navigating at all. But we planned most of our flights on the ship in between ports because the Wi-Fi has just gotten better over the years. In the library, it has good Wi-Fi for booking flights and hotels, and so I would say like if we were getting into Vietnam tomorrow, the night before, we would be planning the following port. Does that make sense? It's just kind of like the fun of it, and you want to like travel with people that you meet and you enjoy traveling with, which is something that I am glad I waited for because it just made the memories all the more special and fun. The last question I'll answer is, are the seas rough? And like, did you get seasick? Yes, sometimes it's really rough. I didn't really get seasick though. I think maybe the second day on the ship was the worst because I wasn't used to it yet, and so I was like kind of feeling nauseous, but honestly the most common like side effect of the seasickness thing is like just like exhaustion and being tired. Whenever it would be rough seas, I kind of just go take a nap and not like do anything. Definitely people had the like wristbands or like the patch behind the ear, but don't leave the patch on too long because one of the people I knew, like it dilated her pupil, like yeah. But I took seasick medication once and it made me too tired and I didn't like it, so I didn't take it again. Yeah, there's some rough seas, but it's fun sometimes because you'll just be walking, all of a sudden a wave will come and everyone will be like, whoa, and then everybody just keeps walking because it's like normal after a while. I think that's all the questions I'm going to answer. I feel like I've been talking forever, and I'm glad you guys still care about my semester at sea videos because I like making them and I love talking about it. But if you do want different content, please tell me and please watch it because I love making videos, and so if you guys watch them, I'll make more videos. I also got this cool light and like, you know, I'm trying really hard to be a YouTuber if you can't tell. Comment down below anything. Like this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, hit that post notification button to see when I post new videos, and I'm really trying to post every Thursday now. I have not had a consistent schedule in my entirety of being a YouTuber, so send this video to people who are also thinking about semester at sea. Thank you for watching. Thank you for getting to this point of the video. Thank you for subscribing if you are subscribed. If you haven't seen my last video, go check it out. It's quite funny. It's me trying to eat vegetables for the first time. That has nothing to do with semester at sea, but I think it's really funny. So if you want to see me eat 10 raw vegetables and my reaction to it, click something. I don't really know. I'm still not that great at editing. Yeah, so that's the end of this video. And I guess I'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye!